Hi, and welcome to Time to Be Well. I'm Kathy Berry, registered dietitian with the Fountain of Health, and on today's holiday show, we'll be preparing a complete healthy holiday dinner for you and someone you love. We will feature a beautiful peachy pork tenderloin, a broccolini salad, and a wonderfully delicious disease-busting berry crisp. I love the holidays and all the trimmings. I love the plain, I love the fancy, but most of all, I love the healthy. We're going to prepare a holiday meal today that is festive and fancy and delicious, but there's no guilt. It's all healthy, so stay right there. Okay, the first thing we're going to prepare is our peachy pork tenderloin. Pork tenderloin is one of those cuts of meat that's extraordinarily lean. Sometimes we throw pork under the bus and we are always thinking about sausage and bacon and ribs, but pork tenderloin is extraordinarily lean. How we're going to prepare it today is we're simply going to rub it with some nice little spice blend that I've made. It has sage and cumin and thyme. It's got cinnamon, salt, and pepper, so it's nice and festive. It's got a nice blend of flavors, so we want to get that coated on the pork tenderloin really nicely. We're just going to rub that around, and then on top of that, we're going to just glaze it up with a little bit of peach preserves that does not have any added sugar. So that's just going to get brushed on top of the nice pork tenderloin. And then we're just going to pop this in the oven, and you can roast it at about 400 degrees, 375. But what you really want to focus on is that internal temperature gets to be about 160 degrees. Now, there are a couple of things that I know. And one of those things is, I don't care whether you are a man or a woman, if you are young or you are old, everyone in the world loves to have something delicious prepared for them by someone that they love. So this is a great recipe for that. So all we're going to do here is just take this pork tenderloin, put it in a nice little roasting pan, and then we're going to slide that in the oven and roast it for about 25 minutes. Now, while that beautiful pork tenderloin is roasting, we're going to make a beautiful dessert to go along with it. Just because you're trying to be healthy during the holidays doesn't mean you always have to forego dessert. And this is a beautiful blueberry crisp that's simple to make and extraordinarily nutritious. Blueberries are one of those foods that are really high in anthocyanin, the antioxidant that has great brain properties. So let's use all the blueberries that we can. So here we go. We've got 4 cups of blueberries, and to that we're going to add about a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of whole wheat white flour. That's just to help it thicken up as it bakes. I've got frozen blueberries here. Those are perfectly fine to use during the winter months. Just as healthy as fresh, maybe even more healthy than fresh that aren't picked in season. Frozen foods are always more nutritious during the winter than actually some of the fresh vegetables, because they get trucked across the country and held in storage for a while. So frozen actually is really, really healthy for you. Okay, so we've got some cinnamon in there. We've got some white whole wheat flour. We've got a tiny bit of sugar. A little bit of sugar is not bad for you. It's when we drink big gulp sodas that the sugar gets us in trouble. And to that, we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Lemon juice just is a nice accompaniment for the sweetness of the blueberries. Kind of gives it a little tartness. And hopefully I didn't get any seeds in there. Okay, so there we go. We're going to stir that all up together and put it right in our nice little prepared baking dish that we put a little pan spray on. I love blueberries. Okay, now that we have our filling in there, we're going to add our topping. All right, so what we have in this bowl is some oats, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of whole wheat white flour. You always want to have as many whole grains as possible. So if you're using a recipe that calls for white flour, just go ahead and use whole wheat white flour. Gives you a little bit more fiber, a little bit more nutrition. And to that, we're going to add some beautiful pecans. And also the new super fat that's really good for you is the coconut oil. Coconut oil is a saturated fat, but it does not have the same properties as other saturated fats, like the fats that come from meat. And the reason is because the coconut oil has medium chain triglycerides, and they do not raise your cholesterol like other saturated fats can. It's a very nice fat to cook with, to bake with. It has a high smoke point, so it's also nice if you're going to saute something. So we're going to mix that up. And to that, just for a nice little pop of flavor, we're going to add some molasses. I can hear our pork sizzling. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons, and you know, you don't really need to measure. That's just fine. So we're going to mix that up. And add a little coconut. See, this really is festive. And all of that goes right on top of that beautiful berry mixture. This is a great little meal. It's a great meal for 2. It's a great meal for 4. It's simple. It's festive. Has some beautiful flavors. So let's pop that on top of there. You can also have this blueberry crisp with some low-fat, healthy vanilla ice cream on top. That is really nice. Okay, now that we have all of that, I would like to slide this in the oven right next to that beautiful little pork tenderloin that we've got roasting in there. And while those 2 things are baking, I'm going to make for you a beautiful broccolini salad that I know that you're going to love to try. Now let's begin our salad. We're going to make a broccolini salad. Broccolini is a fancy little green from the broccoli family, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to simply blanch it. Blanching is a process of cooking quickly and then immersing it in icy cold water, and that stops the enzymatic process of ripening, and it also brings out the flavor of the vegetable and brings out a nice bright color. So blanching is great to do for a kind of a hearty vegetable. It's also a great name for your aunt. So here we go. We're going to just dump this broccolini right in this boiling water, and all we're going to do is just turn the heat right off so it just stops cooking. We're going to cover it up, and we're going to just let it sit there for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then we dump that broccolini right in this icy cold water, and then it keeps it nice and crisp, but it doesn't cook it completely. So while that's blanching, we'll make a little salad dressing here. Now what we've got is some fancy walnut oil. This broccolini salad also has walnuts on top of it, so we're using some walnut oil and some white wine vinegar, like a nice little vinaigrette. The classic vinaigrette always is 2 parts to oil, 1 part of vinegar. Sometimes I like to do 1 part oil, 1 part water, 1 part vinegar if you're really trying to cut down on your calories. But we've just got some oil and vinegar in here, and you always want to add a nice squirt of Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard binds it all together and makes the world go round. Love Dijon mustard. It's a great, great condiment to have in your pantry at all times. So we're just going to add a nice little squirt of that, a tiny smidge of sugar, just a smidge, just to kind of take the bitter off, and some garlic. So nice little press of garlic. There we go. And then we're just going to whisk that up really quickly. Vinaigrette dressings are great to make. They're so easy. You can just mix up a batch and put it in a little mason jar. Keep it in your refrigerator. It lasts for better than a month, and it's very tasty and lots less expensive than what you would purchase in the store. So we're going to give it a little salt and pepper. Whisk that. Simple as pie. Now, I think our broccolini is blanched, so let's just plunge that right in this icy bath. Look, see how it turned nice and bright green? It also gives it a nice texture. It's still tender crisp, but it's not quite like raw. So we're going to just let that sit in there for a tiny touch. All right, our broccolini is blanched, so we're going to just simply put that in our nice little bowl here. And we are going to top it with some of these nice red peppers and some walnuts. Doesn't that look festive? A few nice little walnut pieces. And then we're going to dress it with this nice little vinaigrette that we made with the walnut oil and the garlic. And that is a very pretty little festive salad. So, there's our salad. Now I'm going to go get our pork tenderloin, which is perfect. And we're going to slice that up and plate it. And we've also got our blueberry crisp, which is just about ready to be finished. So stay right there. Okay, our pork tenderloin is beautiful and perfect and 160 degrees, roasted to perfection. Our broccolini salad is festive and extraordinarily nutritious. And look what I found in the oven, our beautiful blueberry crisp, and it's ready to plate as well. So let's slice this beautiful little pork tenderloin up and put that on our platter that we garnished with a little tangerine and parsley. This is a great meal. You know, a holiday meal doesn't necessarily have to be incredibly rich or high in calories to be delicious and flavorful and enjoyable. It's the time that we get to spend with our family and our loved ones that really make the celebration. So I like to have really wonderful food during the holidays, but I try not to make it too complicated so that it's stressful and overwhelming. And this, you can see how simple this meal was to put together. And I promise you, it's delicious. So we've got that nice and sliced, so let's put that on our plate here. Pardon my fingers. I'm gonna lay that all out. Look how beautiful that is. Gorgeous. And again, pork tenderloin is one of those cuts of meat that's very low in fat and it's rich in B vitamins. The other thing that's really nice about it is it's one of those meats that is got this beautiful flavor, so it marries really well with lots of different seasonings and accompaniments, so it's a really nice versatile dish. So here doesn't that look pretty? We've got our pork tenderloin, we've got our beautiful broccolini salad, and now I would like to plate for you some of this beautiful blueberry crisp, which is my family's favorites. We love dessert at my family. I'm not going to tell you that we don't have a sweet tooth, because we do. But once again, you can make sweets that are nutritious at the same time. So we've got this beautiful blueberry crisp. It's, oh my goodness, I wish you were here. This is wonderful. It's got walnuts, it's got pecans, it's got coconut. And lo and behold, I just so happened to find some ice cream that's healthy. This is Edie's Slow Churn. There's a couple brands of ice cream that are lower in fat and really, really healthy. So, you know, a nice little scoop of ice cream to go along with that. That's a great dessert. Oh boy. Can you see that? It's steaming and it's got this nice ice cream beside it. All right, so there you have it. Broccolini salad, pork tenderloin, blueberry crisp. What a wonderful festive meal for you and your family. Thank you for joining us today. We've been coming to you from the University of Missouri Extension Kitchen located in the historic City Market. These are just a few simple recipes to help make the holidays healthy and festive. These recipes and more are available online at kcmo.org/wellkc. I'm Kathy Berry. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for taking care of yourself through better living and healthy eating.